Graham, who took a stand against $600 unemployment checks back in April 2020. Quote, "I promise you, over our dead bodies will this get reauthorized," he said. Dead bodies, huh? Cool choice of words during a deadly pandemic. Real, obvious, dramatic irony. Very, very Sorkin-esque, Lindsay. But then he gives the game away. Graham said, quote, "It was never our goal to pay people more to be out of work than at work. If a person is making $23 an hour on unemployment, it's going to be hard to get you to go back to work for $17 an hour."
Hell yeah, I'm never going back to work. Fuck this.
It's so weird that Cody's like, he gives the game away by saying something that's completely fucking true. Like, what do you mean? Oh, this is a completely true point. What's the problem here? What's the issue? I don't understand. Yes.
Yeah.
If during the pandemic, the government ends up, and first of all, I'm totally in favor of government assistance. Okay. I've been in favor of UBI for a long time, even though I am now against it. I'm definitely in favor of the government giving assistance.
I'm in favor of UBI. I don't want people to think that I'm against it.
I thought you were against it.
I think it's going to destroy the economy, but
I
mean, obviously we should do it.
I'm not in favor of it. If I thought it was going to destroy the economy, I wouldn't be in favor of it.
Well, you're not as much of a nihilist as me, so
there you go. Okay, interesting. I'm sure that will breed many questions, but no, my point, and obviously I'm in favor of giving aid during the pandemic, especially, but I don't think the aid should be more than what people would make when they were working. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, they were trying to get it out very fast. That was the thing. So I don't think they could. Well, actually, didn't they? They tried to give out this. They tried to give out money to the businesses so that the businesses would maintain their employees, which would be maintaining their employees at the same amount of money that they were originally getting, just not working or trying to work under safer conditions and whatnot. But I guess the unemployment is like, these are people who got fired from their jobs. Obviously, the people who didn't get to maintain their jobs, and now unemployment is paying them more than the minimum wage.
Right, which is, and that's the big problem that we've talked about, and anyone with a brain has talked about in terms of the way some of the welfare structure programs are structured, is that if they pay you more not to work, then you're disincentivizing work, which is the exact opposite of what you want to be doing.
But Cody's bringing this up because Cody's point is that the person should not be making $17 an hour, but they should be making $23 an hour anyway. Of course.
Everyone should just magically be making more money. Yes, I agree, Cody. Everyone should be making more money. We'd all be happier.
That's true. I mean, we want people to make more money. I don't think Cody should own that we want people to make more money.
No, but because the idea that
we want people to make more money. Definitely.
I wish I could just snap my fingers and everyone would make more money. Like, we're all in favor of this. I don't know what you want from me.
Just double the prices of everything and pay people.
There you go.
More. That's what I say.
There you go. Perfect.
Why not?
Yeah, sure. It's a brilliant idea.
I love it.
Job. That right there, that's what they're afraid of. People suddenly feeling what it's like to be valued. Suddenly being given a...
Yeah, that's what they're feeling.
You can't see it, but I just face palm so hard.
Yeah.
Do you see how he conceptualizes this? He says,
yeah, if we treat people with dignity, oh my God, they might like it.
You getting paid to do nothing because we're in a global pandemic
is treating people with dignity.
Is being valued? What?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What the fuck is he? What is he talking? People finally feel valued.
Yeah. Stay the fuck home. Put your mask on.
I am 100. This is so weird because I'll make it clear. I'm 100% in favor of coronavirus assistance. 100% in favor of it. What the fuck is Cody talking about?
Coronavirus assistance?
Given a scrap of dignity and realizing that maybe they should demand that little piece of dignity when companies beg them to come back to work. If you want to know what scares a rich ghoul, it's this, right here. A poster on the unemployment...
So...
Yeah, the Reddit post. This is
he thinks... They have no... Like, this is so dumb. So say this happened. Okay. Say the government. First of all, you question how the money is gonna come from to do all this. But okay, so Cody's ignoring any consequences of how the government is going to get all this money. But say the government pays every single person $23, the equivalent of $23 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so now no one is going to ever want to work for less than that after the pandemic's over.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Does that mean all small businesses go out of business? And the only businesses that survive are the super mega conglomerates that Cody fucking hates that can afford to pay that much more? And thus
Don't
all are
go
going to
there.
raise their prices for that pay increase that everyone's now getting? Because not only will they have to pay the minimum wage be the $23 an hour, but everyone would also have to get a pay bump because they're saying, wait a minute, I was getting $23 an hour and I was the
Totally.
manager. Why am I getting paid the same as like the employee at the bottom of the hierarchy? So now that person has to get paid more.
Yeah. Yeah. And then prices have to go up.
Right. So
I'm studying
we're
this economic stuff pretty closely now.
So Cody's creating a world where only super mega corporations exist and everything costs more.
Yeah.
Very progressive.
Yeah. Putting mom and pop shops out of business is actually the major side effect. But Cody would never talk about any of that stuff. Cody is not about measuring the pros and cons of doing any public policies like rah, 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 the poors. I'm for the poors. You're for the poors. Buy my t-shirts. Subscribe to my Patreon. It's so
subreddit
evil.
titled, "For 4 months, I felt normal." This person wrote, "For the 4 months that the $600 was in place, I got to feel normal for the first time in my entire life. For once, I could afford all my bills and have a little left over to enjoy. My entire adult life, I worked jobs that paid just over the minimum wage. I worked hard and never got ahead financially. I even felt the government was doing right by me for the first time. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, but it was nice while it lasted. It's sad that the majority is left out and that it took a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic to be able to feel what it is like to make a fair amount of money. I still maintain that the problem wasn't the $600, it was the fact that so many jobs pay so poorly."
So,
Yeah. Anecdote signed Anonymous.
right. I mean, obviously, this is a total appeal to emotion and all that shit. But bearing that all aside, he's conflated two completely different ideas. Okay. I'm not saying people shouldn't get paid more. I'm not saying people shouldn't. There's lots of people who get paid shit minimum wage that I would like for them to get paid a lot more money so that they could function and live in the world. There's lots of people who have to work multiple jobs just to scrape by and meet. And I am completely a bleeding heart empathy for those people in those positions. 100%. 100%. Okay. But that's not the same as saying Lindsey Graham's point, which is we should be paying people more money not to work than to work. That's a completely different fucking idea. Now, if you want to say, hey, I think the government should have more supplemental income for people in these situations, we can have that conversation. But that wasn't what he was comparing it to. He was comparing it to someone literally saying, we shouldn't pay people more to not work. And the fact that he's conflating that with a person this person, at least in this Reddit post, doesn't seem like they're saying that they're not working anymore. They're saying they're working and they're now getting the additional $600. Because you'd say, wait a minute, if you just get $600 for 4 months, that's not a lot of money. Okay, to survive on, obviously.
Yeah. Well, they don't mention the post is just bad. They don't mention what job they're working in. They're making above minimum wage. Like all this is their
but what
personal
I'm saying is,
perception.
Obviously, this person is still working. And what they're saying is that the additional $600 help them, feel like their head is above water.
Oh, okay.
For the first time in their life.
They're still working then?
They're still working.
These people aren't even unemployed.
Right. So obviously, Cody's entire fucking comparison is totally bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's just getting extra money. Yeah.
Yes. So he's using a totally fallacious appeal to emotion with a totally fallacious fucking comparison that has nothing to do with the issue that he started with.
Are you
Just
sure this
because he's
person's not
trying to hit you
unemployed?
right in the feels. That's what's happening here.
For the 4 months that the 600 was in place, I got to feel for the first time in my entire life. This person's like 15. I was able to afford my bills and a little left over for weed at the dispensary. I don't know. There's too much missing from this post for me to take any of it seriously. It's like signed anonymous anecdote. Like, what the fuck? This is awful.
That scares the shit out of the Lindsey Grahams and Bill Gateses of the world.
No, it doesn't. It's an anonymous Reddit post that we have absolutely no way to verify. Like, we don't know who this person is or what their situation is. They're probably a crazy person. They're like, oh my God, everybody's posting. I want a story, but I'm fine. Let's see here. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto for 4 days. What do I post? Here, let me think.
Cody's obviously part of the Kyle Kalinske, Jimmy Dore crowd who think that there's like this magical, mythical wave of ultra progressive leftists that roam the shores of the United States of America from sea to shining sea, the country just made up of all these magical progressives who for some reason just never fucking vote Democrat. And there's this magic Republican machine that just prevents this wave of mythical progressives from ever just waking up and realizing that they just need to vote for AOC and then they'll get all the money in the world, everything they want. And Cody lives in this delusion. And since Cody lives in the delusion of thinking that this is America, that there's all these magic progressives running around who are for some reason not voting for Democrats, that means that Lindsey Graham and Bill Gates also share his fucking delusional worldview and are also aware and thus are afraid of this groundswell of people. Even though every fucking election since Ronald Reagan has proven that to be not fucking true.
Every single politician knows what the homeless situation is in their district. Like, that's something they know.
Right.
It's just weird.
That is a fear far more than a pandemic growing out of control.
And actually this is even worse because he thinks this is a grown adult human being with a presumable functional brain.
Doubt. Okay. Skeptical. Doubt.
Because he's forming mouth sounds that produce words. Okay. He thinks this is a person who's claiming to be a rational human being, thinks that Lindsey Graham and Bill Gates are more worried about a hypothetical group of magic progressives that are going to vote them out of office and take their money than the fucking global pandemic virus that's actually happening right now and killing millions of people.
Yeah, they're worried. They're focused on that pandemic. Take care of the pandemic.